Hi guys, welcome back to Delaware Acre. I'm Amanda and we are in my very messy kitchen. It has been a crazy week. Kids had off from school Monday, Tuesday. I was off with them. Husband was sleeping on night shift and I couldn't do a whole lot of cleaning, straightening up because I was trying to keep the kids quiet. It's a whole big thing. But I worked yesterday and now the kids are at school and I'm home. Husband's sleeping, so I'm gonna try to get this place all cleaned up. I have to put dishes away. I have to just clean up countertops. I have to do my floors. They need to be done. I need to do them. And then I was going to try my hand at some sourdough rolls. I'm going to make some yeasted bread rolls today. But I'm also going to try to get some sourdough dough going for rolls for tomorrow. He likes to take chicken salad sandwiches for his lunch/dinner on night shift. And I forgot to get bread in our grocery pickup. So I do make a lot of bread, like rustic loaves of bread, but they're not necessarily good for, I haven't really figured out a good sandwich bread recipe. I'm gonna get some dough going after I get this place cleaned up a little bit. I don't wanna get flour all over everything. So come on along. I guess you can watch me clean if you want, or you can skip to the bread making. My husband never finishes his, I won't say he never finishes, but he doesn't always finish this. So I try not to, it's his water for work, and I try not to waste it, the water, and plus these plants need to be watered anyway, so getting it everywhere. But it's a good thing I'm cleaning today. We have like little remnants of bread, but these aren't like really big enough for my husband to have like a sandwich. So put these in the pantry. I'm just ready for the candy to be gone. I just want it gone. I feel like no matter where I put it, it's in my way still. Oh gosh, I think this is some sort of candy stuck to my countertop. Gross. Gross. Let that sit for a second. Not very crazy over the smell of this. The only thing I have left to put away are these lids. Now I converted to glass, Pyrex, Snapware, or I have this brand and the Amazon brand. But the only thing is that the lids take forever to dry. Like forever. They've been sitting out. I emptied this dishwasher like hours this morning. And you have to put them a certain way so that they dry. and it's that my countertop always looks so cluttered because I always have plastic lids that are drying. So I think the floors are going to take me a while. So I think I'm going to do those. Then while I'm letting them dry, I will print out my recipe for my rolls and have a cup of tea and maybe watch a YouTube video or edit one. But I'm going to do the floors, then I'm going to sit down for a minute. I'm not sure if this is a good or a bad thing, but I got my heart rate up doing that. And the next load of laundry in about a minute. How do you know it's Halloween season and you're doing your 10-year-old's clothes? I found, this is the recipe that I use. I'll link it below. I'm realizing that it's not exactly my favorite recipe. Keep my yeast in the freezer. Milk, butter. Recipe calls for 2 eggs. I'm going to use 3 because they're small from my cousin's chickens. Recipe says mix the yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and warm milk and leave. Okay, so I guess I need 1 cup of warm milk. One, 2. Alright, do your thing, yeast. It says to set that to the side. Now what? 2.5 cups of flour, sugar, and salt. Fluff my flour a little bit. Alright, 1, 2. Flour, sugar, and salt mix. Alright. I guess another tablespoon. Sure. Oh, it's a tablespoon. I need a teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1, 2. Also hate it when you print a recipe and it prints out on 2 sides, like more than 1 page. Salt. Might not be ready just yet. We can mix this. While we're letting this proof, we can get eggs. These are, like I said, these are from backyard chickens, and I'm not sure if they're going to be 100% good. I always crack them into a separate bowl. I make sure they're good. Oh yes, this one I don't think is any good. Is it? Oh no, it's good. Let me get the shells out. Crap. I guess that little membrane or whatever was just really thick. I crushed that one. That's still good. I just crushed the yolk when I when I cracked it. So let's add 1 egg. All right, let's try this. This one sounded weird when I cracked it. Oh yeah, so see, this one is halfway not there. So this was completely dry, and then here's the yolk. It's not good. I'll put a whole egg into my recipe and have to toss everything. See, that one's fine. There we go. Okay, set those off to the side. I think this is ready. See how it is? Can you see that? Can you see how it's kind of frothy in there? So we're going to use this now. I have to use melted butter. I have to put my butter in there. Butter. 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Stand by. We're going to melt some butter. Good enough. Okay. Got our melted butter. Now it says 1 egg. I put 2 in there because they were small. Mix until everything comes together. Dough will be a shaggy mess. All right. Looks quite wet. Okay, now we're getting shaggy. Oh, it smells good. It smells like bread. This looks very wet. Very wet. Really wet. Okay, but it's shaggy, so 5 minutes. Oh, I hate using saran wrap. I need to find an alternative. I guess it's not going to stick. Okay, whatever. It's on there. So while we're waiting for that 5 minutes, sourdough out. I usually let my sourdough get to room temperature before I feed it, but I want to get it going here. I'm going to feed it while it's cold and see what happens. Let me get a little fancy measuring cup. Little measuring cup. I got it from IKEA. I love it. It's like cute, fancy, but simple. I like it, but it's super thin. I'm going to add some water. And then, I don't know, can you see in there? Mix her up there. Like gluey. Alright, wait for this to come up to room temperature. And that only took about 1.5 minutes. So we have another 3.5 minutes. Figured I'd just clean up a little bit while we're waiting. And then I forgot to take my vitamins. Yes, I'm taking men's 1 a day, and that is because they're almost expired and we need to get rid of them. This big old giant bottle. Immune support with elderberry and milk thistle. This has vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and echinacea in there. My husband and I are both taking them so we can get rid of this giant bottle. Oh, now I think my husband is doing the leaf blower himself. Yep, there he is. Okay, it's been almost 10 minutes and had to wait because my husband was doing the leaf blower on the deck out there. So this still looks really shaggy. I'm a little concerned. Or it still looks really moist. So now it says to remove the lid, turn the dough onto a lightly floured work surface and knead gradually and put the leftover 1/4 cup of flour. Your dough will still be soft, but don't be tempted to add more flour. So lightly floured work surface and then a 1/4 cup. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, this looks really, really, really wet. I think this is going to be a disaster. I think my countertop's clean. All right, it says add another 1/4 cup. Knead the dough gradually. I can't even touch it because it's so sticky. Your dough will still be soft. Don't be tempted to add more flour. Knead gradually, adding the leftover 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, that's much better. Oh, it's still kind of sticky there. Oh, yeah, sticky. Very sticky. It says it will be soft. Don't be tempted to add more flour. So I can't really get in there and knead this because then it starts sticking. Okay. Return dough back to the bowl and grease the surface with a bit of oil or melted butter. Cover with plastic or tight-fitting lid and let rest for 30 minutes. A little bit of, not a little bit, but I have avocado oil. Put some on my hand. Touch the top with it. Okay. And then I'm not sure if this Is this supposed to touch the dough? Or do you just put it over top? Not really sure what to do. Plastic wrap. Dough like this. I don't know. It's not tight fitting, that's for sure. Do I need a rubber band or something? Is that good enough? Is that tight enough? I don't know. Yeasted breads are so different. All right, there we go. And then I'll clean this up. Okay, so I have decided to do one more recipe while we're waiting for the for that yeasted dough to rise, or do what I was doing for 30 minutes. I'm going to make some meatballs. The recipe calls for, it's supposed to be ground chicken, but they're like healthy meatballs, or when I was counting macros. So need meat. I'm going to use eggs, Italian breadcrumbs, roasted sesame oil. I usually use coconut aminos instead of soy sauce, but soy sauce, I don't have any coconut aminos. Some oil, because this is very, very, very lean. I'm going to use garlic, pepper, salt, and some onion. Again, I'm kind of adapting this recipe. I'm kind of winging it. Oh, this is still kind of frozen. I took this meat out last night, let it fall in the fridge. So, there's venison. If you've never seen venison, it's very, very dark, very lean. There's fat in here, but it's typically pretty lean. Break this up a little bit. I'm thirding this recipe because this is only a pound, and this recipe calls for 3 pounds, but I'm just going to kind of wing it a little bit. All right, let me wash my hands here. Well, it's going to need eggs, so let's just do that. Kind of praying these eggs are good since I'm cracking it right over top. Yeah. Okay, let me wash my hands. I kind of guesstimate for this. Some breadcrumbs. Oh, it's a brand new thing. Yes, I know I could make my own. Guess we'll use that much. A tablespoon of light soy sauce. I'm just going to do a splash. I don't even know if I like this, so we'll see. Splash. Toasted sesame, this says 2 teaspoons, so we'll just do a glug. 2 cloves of garlic minced. I don't feel like mincing garlic right now, so we're just gonna shake some powder in there. I'm not a big garlic fan, too much. Everything needs salt, pepper, and I put onion in everything, so. This is canola, but I have olive, so we're gonna use that. How much I love mixing with my hands. Mix it all in together. I'm gonna do the parchment paper like other people do. See if it saves me from having to clean this. So it says 1.5 inch balls, so I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know, is that 1.5? Maybe 2. Some people use an ice cream scoop for this, but Los Manos work for me. I'll just wash them again. So I'll put these in the fridge, and then as soon as I get the oven going for the bread, I'll put these in also. See this now with the sunlight here. You see that? It says to punch down the dough. Not a whole lot to punch down. And transfer back to a lightly floured surface. Oh, it came right out. Okay. To divide this into 8 pieces and then put it in my dish. Let me get my dish. Not your buns. One. Okay. I shape them into. Okay, because that's inside down. 15 minutes. Okay guys, it's been hours. It's supposed to be 15 minutes rising. I did check them and they were still kind of flat. So now they're nice and puffy, nice and fluffy. So I have a few things to do outside. It is getting dark out, so I have a few just little errands, little things to do outside just to tidy up. We're supposed to get rain all day tomorrow, so I want to go do that. And then I'll throw these in the oven. And turns out Puppy is off tonight, so I didn't have to cook these in like any specific time. So yeah. These are still here. They're finally dry. I just didn't get around to putting them away yet. Trimmed one of my house plants. The cats got to it. Laundry is in off the line. Waiting to fluff it in the dryer. Catch going on out here. Okay, it's pitch black outside, and oh no, sticking. All right, sorry about that. Well, that might ruin the rolls right there. That's the man. I'm supposed to do an egg wash on these before they rose. Oh, it may not be pretty. Be able to cut them, right? I might have messed up not putting it, but they may have overproofed at this point. To my meatballs. 12 to 15 minutes. Set timer for 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Counting down.
In the meantime, starter is nice and bubbly. Active, ready to rock and roll. You know what? I guess I should have a sourdough recipe. Okay, so printed out my recipe for my sourdough rolls, which needs old trusty mixer here. And this is sourdough dinner rolls by from Lisa Voss, I think. Lisa over on farmhouseonboone.com. I'll link it below. It says half a cup of fresh starter. Half a cup of water. Oh, timer's done. Definitely need more time. Set timer for 3 minutes. 3/4 cup of warm water. Is it warm? Yes, it's warm. 1/4 cup of melted butter. 1/4 cup of melted butter. 2 to 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 1. Stand mixer. Oh man. Go. Need on medium speed. 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, just an update. I pulled the rolls out. They're all like one large sheet of bread at this point. I'll have to cut them, but they smell really good. And then I also I stopped the mixer so that you could hear me talk. Ended up adding probably the extra half cup that she was mentioning in the recipe. And then, so I don't think it will pass The window pane. Oh, it might. Oh, look at that. Window pane test. Passing. It's still really sticky though. It says knead it for 10 to 15 minutes using the dough hook until the dough becomes smooth, stretchy, and can pass the window pane test. Then place in a grease bowl and cover with a towel and allow it to rise overnight. So stay tuned.
What is this?
Does it smell good?
Yeah. What is it?
All right, here. Hold this and I'll cut it. Ooh, look at that. Guys, it's the next morning. I have breakfast waffles going. And let's check out this dough. Ooh, it's so pretty. It's beautiful. Eating breakfast and then we will continue this recipe. Okay guys, it's a little bit later. Breakfast is done. I got my tea. Alright, I put my recipe on top so that I didn't lose it because I will misplace it that quickly overnight. It says allow to rise overnight 8 to 24 hours. The next day divide the dough into 8 equal parts and put in a greased 9 by 13 or 8 by 8 dish. Allow to rise until doubled in approximately 2 hours. There you go. Look at that. Ooh, pretty. Divide into 8 equal parts. I guess just put them in little balls like this. I don't know if I should put parchment paper in here. It says to just grease it. I'm a little scared. A little bit of avocado oil in here. Should we use butter? Oh well, avocado oil is in there now. I don't know if I should be making tension on these. That's what they look like. The lighting isn't exactly the best here. 1 to 2 hours. So I'm gonna put this back over with it so I don't misplace them.
How many here among us feeling life is but joy?
Okay, Sarah, go ahead and get dressed, babe.